Hey there, so you guys know that if you've channeled, guys, if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I have been obsessed with growing free garlic for years. So there's this thing where you plant hardneck garlic and then you let the scapes grow and you harvest the seed head and you plant them out and harvest and plant them out and harvest. And it takes about 3 years. And so, what I'm telling you is that the 3 year experiment is done. It's finally done. I want to show you the garlic bed. If you followed me, I know you know I've mentioned it in shorts, I've mentioned it in videos, and this experiment has taken a long time. And so, therefore, I have not had the final results to show you, but we are oh so close. I just pulled some scapes off of the last or the first group, the first graduates, if you will. They're 3 years old. There are some folks in that bed who are probably even 4 years old, and we are going to harvest them this year. But I want to show you, so stick around. The video you're about to see is the bed itself, what it looks like now, 3 years into this experiment. So you've been with me for 3 years. Thank you so much. As always, I know you could be anywhere you choose to be with me, and I do appreciate it. So I've told you about the free garlic that I grow, and I've told you about this for years. And here is one of the beds of free garlic that I have. And all this is, now I do need to get in here and weed. I had started and then I quit, and we have gotten so much rain. But what I want to show you here is why this looks haphazard. The reason it kind of looks haphazard is because a lot of these are very young. So if you've watched my videos, you know that for garlic bulbils, if you plant them out for 3 years, you will eventually have a full-size garlic bulb. Now, I know that takes a lot of patience and time, but as a fun experiment, I thought it was totally worth it. So you can see here, this is, let me go this way and look back. This is about a 20-foot garden bed. And so right in here is where we start. We go all the way here along this brown drip irrigation line. So there were hundreds of bulbils planted here. They start out as tiny as a grain of rice, and you direct see them, and some of them make it and some of them don't. And after that first year, I dig them up and they're tiny little babies, and I plant them out the next year. And you do this, you plant them out just like regular garlic bulbs, and then you take them in, and they're tiny and they're getting bigger and bigger. But what happened this year, full disclosure, this entire bed has been here for now, this is the second year. All of the bulbils here have been here for this will be the second year. So they're at least 2 years old. Some of them are older. And obviously the bigger ones are older. And here's an older one here. So these guys are older. These are older. You can just see that they're a large size. Some of them are approaching regular size, like a regular size bulb that you'd plant out and then harvest from. And I wanted to just show you that, for example, you can see this guy here is probably now, this is probably about 3 years old. And you can see that there's a garlic scape right here. All of these have scapes because they're all hardneck. That's how I was able to plant them, because these hardneck garlics form a scape, and this scape is an immature flower head. This bit right here will turn into the flowering head if I were to leave this on. And so when you grow hardneck garlic, you want to take the scape off because it helps direct energy back down into the bulb and makes a bigger bulb. Now, I have done some experimentation, obviously, where I left them on. That's how I was able to get the scapes that are the bulbils that I have planted. And I found that the garlic bulbs were not actually that much smaller. So I don't know that it's always worth it, but I love to eat garlic scapes. They are a fresh hit of garlic in the spring when you're desperately waiting for your new garlic to arrive. So for me, it's worth it to take off some of them. But I don't see that removing the scape makes the bulb that much bigger in my own experience. So this is a scape. If I were to leave this on, it would straighten out, come sky high. It would turn into a flowering bulb. And then in fall, the seeds that are created are just like a little tiny grain of rice, and you plant them out. And when you plant them out the first year, you get really tiny, tiny blade garlics that look like a blade of grass. And I'm trying to find some for you so you can see them, but I don't have any that young because, like I said, this bed's 2 years old. So I'm just trying to see what I have here for you. Like this guy, he's a young one. He's a young one, but still, he's not. The year-old ones are really, really, really tiny. So anyway, you plant them out, you take them in, you plant them out, you take them in, except when you're as lazy as I am and you just forget to take them up, they got overgrown with weeds, so I left them in. But as a result, they've come back, and here is this free bed of garlic. I'm excited about them. I do think some of these are going to be big enough to harvest this year and eat. So we'll see how it goes. But I wanted you to see what this free garlic looks like. Yes, I still have the bed. It's been a long time. I have a couple beds actually throughout the garden, but this is the best looking one. You can see here. They're just gorgeous. They have scapes. Here you can see this big guy. He's looking nice. Here's his scape here. So I will pull the scapes out of most of these, but I'll leave some because that's how I keep getting this supply of free garlic. And so yeah, here's one last final look at the free garlic bed. It doesn't look like much here, I know, but I want you to just understand the value of all of this. If you know, the first 3 years are the hardest part, but now I have a constant supply of free garlic. If I do this every year, I don't actually have to buy any more seed garlic. So I think this is fun. And also another benefit to bulbils is that they're so tiny that if you store them properly, they last for a really long time. So you don't have to put them out. So like if you have garlic bulbs that you need to plant for seed, you need to plant them out. If you don't plant them out when they need to be out, they will desiccate, they'll dry up, and you can't plant them at all. They just go bad. But garlic bulbils don't go bad, which is kind of similar to true potato seed. If you let a potato flower, and then you collect the seed, you can actually grow potatoes from seed. And I have true potato seed. I have an envelope that I got from Grand Teton Organics. I bought from him several years back, and they'll last for 20, 25 years. So technically, if you were like in a, self-survival, self-reliance sort of situation where you wanted to say, okay, how do I make sure I always have garlic? How do I make sure I always have potatoes? Storing bulbils and always having garlic grown from bulbils is one way you can make sure that you don't have to rely on seed garlic. But yeah, there's some weedy parts of the garden. Sorry, not sorry. It's just been raining like crazy here. But this is the free bed of garlic, and it's delicious, it's amazing, and it's the right price. So thanks for staying with me, guys. I just wanted to give you this quick update on the free garlic that I'm growing. As always, I know you could be anywhere, and you chose to be with me, and I do really appreciate it. Bye for now.